Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
One more time. Good morning.
Good morning.
There we go. Much better. We begin with a land acknowledgement. The Forest Preserves of Cook County acknowledge that we are on the lands of the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi, as well as the Miami, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, Sauk, and Mishwaukee peoples. As a land management agency, we acknowledge that we've played a role in shaping the histories of our local Native Americans by acquiring this land. We also recognize, share, and celebrate their immemorial ties to the land. We commit ourselves to developing deeper partnerships that advocate for progress, dignity, and humanity of the many diverse Native Americans who still live and practice their heritage and traditions on this land today. I want to thank everyone who's joined us. Commissioner Kevin Morrison will be here shortly. Trustees Gary Palafis, Michael Gaeta, and Gary Stanton of the Village of Hoffman Estates. Mike Angus, who's Executive Director of the Chicago Area Mountain Bikers, known as Camber. Wayne Hayworth, who coordinates the Trailhead Run Group for Dick Pond Athletics. And, of course, our Superintendent of the Forest Preserves, Arnold Randall. Today we're here in Hoffman Estates to celebrate a great new amenity at the Paul Douglas Preserves, which you can see behind me is one of the stunning landscapes of our forest preserves in Cook County. Thanks to a great collaboration with Camber, we're cutting the ribbon today on more than 13 miles of single-track trails that wind through the woods and among the grasslands and wetlands of this 1,800-acre preserve. We have about 70,000 acres in the Forest Preserve District. This is 1,800. For years, the extensive single-track trail system at our Palos Preserves has been a premier mountain biking experience in Cook County. Now we also offer a set of challenging trails here in northwest suburban Cook County. This is the newest destination for anyone who wants to ride for miles on rugged dirt trails close to home. I want to thank Mike Angus and Camber for their deep and long-standing partnership in Palos and here at Paul Douglas. These trails are here because of their investment in time and dollars. Thousands. I understand there were 4,000 hours of volunteer time. 4,000 hours of volunteer time that went into the preparation of these trails.
Well, we're just really excited you guys are here, and I actually live across Algonquin, so I'm out here all the time. So maybe if you see somebody hugging and chugging, be nice as you blow by me. But, I'm just kidding. But no, we're glad this is here, and Mike took the initiative to get it all going. And we golfed a bunch of years ago, and I'm like, that sounds great. Like, do you need any help? Where do you start? So and here we are, years later. So again, thanks for coming this morning. You guys are a massive force. So good to have you. Thank you. And thanks, Mike, for all what you've done. Pleasure, Mike. A fire starts with a spark, right? So you've been that spark for this.
And as great as the single-track trail system is for mountain biking, it also offers another option for runners who want to get off the pavement and into the woods. They're also open and available for families or hikers who are looking for a more immersive nature experience. These new single-track trails are just some of the 350 miles of paved and unpaved trails throughout our nearly 70,000 acres. It's only one of the fraction of outdoor recreation opportunities you can find in our forest preserves. 40 bodies of water for fishing, 20 for kayaks, canoeing, and boat launches, 5 campgrounds, 11 golf courses, a disc golf course, and even a zip line facility. There are many amazing amenities for all of us. I encourage everyone to get out and enjoy what the Forest Preserves offers. Everyone benefits mentally and physically from spending time out in nature, and everyone is welcome in our preserves. So, now I'd like to introduce Arnold Randall, our superintendent, our general superintendent of the Forest Preserves, to say a few words, and then we'll hear from our local elected officials and Camber. Thank you. Arnold.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is a pleasure to be out here with you. I know it's a brisk day, but this is a great day. I want to thank you, President Preckwinkle, and I'm happy to be here today. Adding a set of single-track trails in northwest suburban Cook County is a really significant milestone for the Forest Preserves and for riders like you and runners and anyone who wants to spend some time exploring this beautiful Paul Douglas Preserve. I know there's a lot of excitement about this project and what it offers, and you can see at the turnout, and you guys always turn out, it's awesome. You can tell from the excitement that you're here today. I want to thank you all for coming out to celebrate with us. A lot of folks might be surprised that Cook County can be a great place to go mountain biking. I know that you're not, but a lot of people might be surprised about that. We don't have a lot of mountains, but as anyone who's been out in the Palos Preserve trails knows, the Forest Preserves offers miles and miles of mountain biking, fun, and seriously thrilling rides. Now, when I first started this job years ago, Jerry Stagey and some other folks took me on a ride, and it is really thrilling. So too much for me maybe, but pretty cool stuff. The Forest Preserves has had a unique partnership with Camber for more than 20 years in Palos, and that collaboration has been the bedrock to create this new site. Thank you, Mike, the trail crew, and all the members for your ideas, planning, and really hard work. I know the work that you're doing out on those trails there's a lot of work to do there, and I appreciate you putting that work in to make the rough cut, removing brush, and so much more. I also want to thank some of our staff, John McCabe, Elliot Medina, and the Department of Resource Management. John, I see you there, for leading this effort from the Forest Preserve side. Paul Douglas is a great location for this trail system, one of our largest contiguous parcels of land anywhere in the Forest Preserves, similar to Palos. Our ecological restoration work over the years here has included improvements to water flow and removing hedgerows, a lot of that underbrush that you see throughout the preserves. That has led to healthier wetlands and the return of nesting grassland birds like the Savannah sparrows and bobolinks. Today, Paul Douglas Preserve has a complex and beautiful mix of woodlands, prairies, marshes, and ponds. For single track trails, we work closely with Camber to find the best routes that balance the riding experience with protecting against erosion and minimizing the impact on the local ecology and wildlife so that they can coexist. This result is a mix of different levels of challenges and options. There would be no other way for you guys. You have to have all those really kind of basic level stuff, and then obviously the higher level stuff, which is pretty intense. So you have from a 4.5 mile route to several loops ranging from 1 to 3 miles. Runners and riders move in opposite directions, switching by days of the week, making it safer on the trails and essentially doubling the experience for repeat visits. The 8-mile trail system here is on the west side of the preserve. It's fully and officially open today. I know you've been riding it, but it's officially open today. And the 5.3 miles of eventual 9 miles of trails on the east side is open as well. With these options available, we'll be working with Camber to stop the practice of people forging their own bike trails through nearby preserves, which damages the land and harms plants and wildlife. And we appreciate you being on board with that. We want people to stay on the trail. At the Forest Preserves for more than 100 years, our mission has been to protect and preserve the natural wonders of our region and to provide public open space for the education, pleasure, and recreation of the public. These single-track trails are a case study in how we can achieve that goal and the importance of and the power of our great partnerships with organizations like Camber. I hope you all get some time out on these trails and out in the Forest Preserves across Cook County, and it is going to warm up some later this week, so I hope you get to enjoy it. Now I want to introduce Gary Palafis, the village trust. Oh, the commissioner's here. Okay, so I would like to introduce Kevin Morrison, our commissioner for this district. Commissioner.
All right.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Superintendent. It is great to be with you all today. I'm Kevin Morrison. I represent the Northwest Suburbs in the 15th District on the County Board. And it's incredible to be with all of you today celebrating this next step of improvements with our forest preserves. I would like to first thank President Preckwinkle and Superintendent Randall for their support on this project. Their hard work helped bring this accomplishment to completion. I'm proud to celebrate the completion of this single-lane mountain bike path. It's critically important that we invest in local transportation as well as make our communities more bike-friendly and sustainable. I applaud the Chicago area mountain bikers volunteers for working tirelessly to complete this project and improving our forest preserves for the community's benefit. This path will not only encourage recreation and continued use of the wonderful forest preserves our county has to offer, it is also my hope that it will push residents to use bike and pedestrian infrastructure as we work to reduce our use of fossil fuels and our carbon footprints. I want to reiterate that Cook County is committed to doing everything it can to help municipalities in the Northwest Suburbs add bike lanes, improving public transportation, and updates to their infrastructure. And I'm thrilled that we now have this path as a wonderful example of what our communities could look like. Again, thank you for having me here today, and I look forward to using this path once it gets a little bit warmer in the spring. Thank you. Next up, we have Village of Hoffman Estates trustee Gary Palafis.
Hi, my name is Trustee Gary Palafis, and with me today I have Trustee Gary Stanton and Trustee Mike Cada. And the mayor asked us to come out today because this is a really momentous event. It's almost an emotional time for me because I know this has been a work that's been underway for the better part of 4 to 5 years. And I would just like to, normally we start out by saying it takes a village, but in this case, it takes a county. And I just wanted to thank President Preckwinkle, Superintendent Arnold Randall, and of course Commissioner Kevin Morrison for all of their support, because it takes a county to make this happen. It takes volunteers, it takes initiative, it takes somebody with a great idea. And we are so honored to have this amenity as a part of our town. You have the support of our village manager, Eric Palm, our police chief, our fire chief, all of our engineers, and they're all out here today to celebrate this opening of this event and just this amenity. And we're so honored. And I keep saying that we're so honored, but we are. And you know, we have a local bike shop in town with Crank Revolution, so there's places to go eat nearby. So this is just not only great for the county, but also for the Village of Hoffman Estates. And we're really excited to have you all here. I'm super honored to introduce the next speaker, who I've known for the better part of 20 years. We used to work together in the corporate world, and we went golfing a few years ago, and he was telling me about this idea about mountain biking. And I'm like, that's great. I said, it's in our town. Is there anything we could do to help? And he just took off with the idea. And then we always say it takes a spark to start a fire. Mike's a fire starter. So with that, I would like to introduce you to Mike Angus, who's the Executive Director of the Chicago Area Mountain Bike Association.
Okay, thanks Gary, Tony, Arnold. Thank you very much, really appreciate the good words. I've spent a lot of time in Paul Douglas Forest Preserve, particularly over the last 2 years. I've explored every inch of this place. I've looked at the prairies, the woodlands, the wetlands, the abundance of wildlife, the bird life, the beautiful sunsets here. I probably know this place better than anyone else. I really enjoy being out here. When I told people that we were going to build a trail at Paul Douglas Woods, most of them looked at me and said, hey, why do you want to build a trail there? You know, it's a flat piece of ground, it's got a lot of moisture, it's wet. You know, you're wasting your time. You know, I really love nature. I love being out here. I love exercising in nature. I like being out here, sometimes by myself, sometimes with friends, sometimes with family. This place has it all to offer. The trail at Paul Douglas Woods has been very carefully designed to give people access to nature while respecting the environment. We work very closely with Forest Preserves of Cook County to ensure that we remain away from sensitive areas. The trail has been designed to be highly sustainable, with minimum impact to the environment, while at the same time giving people access to the beautiful area. The trail appeals to a broad range of trail users. It's not just for biking, it's for hiking, it's for families, it's for kids to come out here and enjoy nature. The trail is directional. In other words, bikers and hikers and runners go in opposite directions, so it's been designed with safety in mind. So you can come out here and enjoy and be safe. It also appeals to a very broad range of riders and commuters. If you start off on the southeast corner over here, it's very tame, it's very easy. A kid with a strider can ride over there and be introduced to mountain biking. And as you go around to the other side, it appeals to a more advanced rider. So it's going to appeal to a very broad range of riders and people being out here, and it's going to introduce a lot more people to nature and being outside and getting fit. The trail is also going to be groomed in the winter months, so it's not just going to be here for the summer season, but you're going to be able to use it all year round, which is really fantastic. With that said, I really would like to thank the Forest Preserves, and I'm going to thank them twofold on this. So one is for them to recognize that Paul Douglas had a lot more to offer its constituents. It's a beautiful forest preserve. It has abundance of wildlife and birds, and now people have a trail that they can go into every aspect or every side of the preserve and enjoy it. Beforehand, that access wasn't available. With this trail, you can access the trail. So thank you very much for having the insight to see what the capabilities of Paul Douglas Woods were and what it had to offer. Secondly, I really would like to support them for them helping us build the trail. They've been very open to our ideas, our plan. We've negotiated away from sensitive areas. They've been sensitive to what we look for from a mountain biking community, and we've achieved a really good balance. They've also helped us tremendously on items that were too dangerous for the volunteers to take care of. So the big trees and items that were just too much for us to handle, they've been really there to support us. So thank you very much, Forest Preserves of Cook County, for being with us and working with us. Really great partnership. Lastly, I would like to thank the trail crew. As been said early on, we've spent over 4,000 hours building these trails. We spent a lot of time, very passionate group of people that come out here every week, giving up their family time, giving up their ride time, and building these trails for everyone to enjoy. It's not just for mountain bikers, it's for hikers, it's for families to come out here and enjoy. We enjoy being out here, but we also enjoy giving back. Thank you very much, the crews out there. You've been with me the whole way. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. To close, I just say, get out here, enjoy the trail, enjoy being part of nature. Thank you very much. With that, yeah, hold on, we haven't finished yet. Yeah. So with that, I'd like to introduce Wayne Hayworth, sorry I butchered your name there, to talk about the running community as well. Wayne.
All right, runner up. You bikers know where that is. First, I want to thank Mike and Carl for having me out to speak on behalf of the greater running community. As a lifelong runner and an employee of Dick Pond Athletics, I've been fortunate to have benefited from the hard work and dedication of Camber and the Cook County Forest Preserve districts on a regular basis. Like so many of you, the single-track trails of the Cook County Forest Preserve hold a special place in my heart. I came to know them years ago as a collegiate runner at UIC in my early 20s. The Palos Trail System was the very first place I went upon arriving to town, before I even moved into my first apartment. I had to meet my new team in the Circle Lot at some weird place called Bullfrog Lake. I don't know, maybe you've heard of it. Running the trails at Palos several months a year in between, I've had to witness the evolution of Chicago's most extensive trail system into what it is today. Whether venturing down the winding trails through Redgate Woods or connecting the Black Trail to the Orange, evidence of Camber's hard work is everywhere. When I step out of my car at Wolf Road Woods today, I never know where the trail's going to take me. Today we're here to celebrate the opening of Chicago's next great trail system. Early reports that the trails are awesome. Over the years, our run groups have run the bike loop here and wondered to ourselves what a nice interior trail system would look like here at the Paul Douglas Preserve. Never did we actually think it would happen. So what a wonderful surprise this has been. I have with me today Missy Basic, who manages our Hoffman Estate store, which is located just on the northwest corner of the preserve. And I know she looks forward to hosting many runs and exploration of these great new preserves that they've built for us here. Many will come and run these preserves over the years and maybe not give it a second thought about whose hard work went into putting them in or even who to thank. So I'm honored to be the one chosen to formally thank Camber and the Forest Preserve District on behalf of the running community for all their hard work on these trails. So from runners everywhere, thank you for your vision and execution on making such a wonderful place for us to explore. So thank you guys, I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. We are also looking forward to working and partnering with Camber in the future and raising money through our Summer Trail Classic trail run, hopefully hosted in a forest preserve near you. Maybe this one. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. We're grateful. I want to express my appreciation again to the Forest Preserve staff and all of our Camber volunteers who work so hard to make this trail possible.
So the question that was asked is, how do you keep people on the trails and not blazing new trails? I think the answer to that question is you've got to design the trail system right so they're not attracted to go off the trail. So if you give people something that they want to ride, why go off the trail? So a large portion of that has to go into the design of the trail system, and I really believe we've done that here. I also want to say that the mountain biking community is very protective of things that we have, and we really police ourselves. So when we see people going off the trail, we try and highlight that that's not acceptable in our community. So I believe that this trail system has been designed to detract from that. We try and make sure that we identify the human aspect where somebody is attracted to somebody, to either keep them away from that area so they don't get attracted into that area, or to steer them away from it. So I don't believe that's going to be an issue. We've seen this in our other preserves. We've done it at Raceway Woods and things like that, where we've got one side of the property where people aren't allowed to ride, and at the other side where people are allowed to ride and they respect us. So through self-policing and effective design of the trail, I don't believe that's going to be an issue, and we'll watch it and we'll address it if it comes up.
Thank you. So just a second, I want to thank you again for the volunteer work that was done and for the self-policing. That's really important. We have a Forest Preserve Police Department. We can't possibly be everywhere, and if the biking community polices itself, that's benefits everybody who uses the trails. So thank you. All right? Okay, let's
Alrighty,
get a
we
cutting
do this.
picture.
Alrighty, let's see how this goes.
2, 3.
Tell me the most exciting part about being able to ride single lane on this trail, essentially most official day. What's so exciting about this?
It's a thrill every time we come out. From the beginning, when we started this trail, till today, every time we come out, it's a new experience. It's fun, it's challenging, it's an incredible community. I'm supportive here as a female. There aren't a lot of females that ride out here, but we're seeing more and more, and they're terrific athletes, and the crew, they encourage us all the time. They're like, Judy, get your friends out, let's go. Mike Angus has been incredible director for this whole thing, and he's so aware of all the different needs, from the walkers, the hikers, the families, to the riders, and he's just very aware. And it's terrific.
Did you volunteer to help build everything and create it, clean it up?
I did volunteer.
So, okay.
Not as much as all these other guys out
Sure,
there.
but from that point, right, when it was essentially not much, to this, today, how does it make you feel knowing you were a little part of that?
Terrific. It's amazing the difference, and you won't believe these trails. You look out, it looks flat. The trails there's green for the families, and then they're, like you said, more technical trails. It's amazing. You never stop pedaling, lots of tight turns, and just a great community.
Yeah, it couldn't be more excited, honestly. Something that's close to the house that we worked hard for, and it's miles and miles around. It's going to be great.
Yeah, everybody's been volunteering. We got group rides once a week, so now it's something close to the house, like he said. We can ride right here.
Yeah, we'll ride all year round, winter, spring, summer, fall. It's a beautiful area. I mean, couldn't be happier.
You excited?
Yeah, super excited. Come out and ride.
Say something.
Hey, let's do this. See ya. Thank you, Camber. Thank you, thank you.
Something.
Okay.